that gold Seiko. Can you imagine working for 40 years? At the end of your 40 years, and you're 65, 67, and you're getting that gold Seiko. All that work, all that sacrifice, working 6 days a week for someone else, paying your taxes. And your last day, you get that gold Seiko, and living out the rest of your life on 4 bills a month. Nah, that's not my vision. That's not how I'm trying to go out. My granddad, I loved him deeply. He came over from St. Lucia on the Windrush, couldn't read, had no money, came to England where the streets were paved with gold. He found a way, met Granny, got his council house, had 9 kids, worked his finger to the bone in that factory. He used to walk from Willesden Green all the way to Acton every single day to go to work, to make his daily bread, to provide for his family. Great man, strong man. They don't make them like that no more. Old school players, they were built of different stuff. He's revered, loved, very, very smart man. Very intelligent. Imagine that, not being able to read. Forging your passport, making yourself 3 years older so you can come over to England and build a life for yourself. My granddad was so intelligent. If he lived in this age, he would absolutely have been an entrepreneur. Hard work was his middle name. He never took holidays. You don't tell granddad about annual leave, taking time off. No such thing. He was a hard worker, loved by the family. And this is no slight on him because he was a man, 100%, 1000%. He was a man. This is HEvolvingMedia. We want more. We want legacy. We want our family to live on. We want to have a plan for our family for 3 generations, 100 years on. My vision, which should also be something you think about, is legacy. I want my ashes on the mantelpiece, underneath the oil painting, where my grandkids can come in and look at the picture. You know, like when you were young, remember Granny had a picture. We used to be scared of that picture. It's like, yo, the eyes are following us everywhere we go. That's what I want my picture to do for my grandchildren. I want my kids to teach my grandchildren about what granddad had to sacrifice for, how granddad had to push, how granddad put a plan together and sacrificed for not just us, for you and your children, building something that is tangible, keeping the respectability, keeping the drive, keeping the honor from granddad, but incorporating money, getting rich, whereas the children that come from my children don't have to start behind the 8 ball, where we have the resources to help with home deposits, seed money for businesses. I want us, we need to think like the Rockefellers, live in trusts, life insurance, real estate, brokerage accounts, mission statements, a philosophy for the whole family to follow, plan, an outlook, generational wealth, all moving as one. We've become very, very selfish. My grandfather was all about family. When you come over from the West Indies and you come and you see signs, no dogs, no Irish, no blacks, you are confined to a community like Black Wall Street and Tulsa when we weren't able to integrate and opportunities were scarce and we were locked out of certain economic advantages and we could not benefit from nepotism. The family unit was our superpower. The family is what kept everything going. That is being lost. My grandmother passed recently. So granddad died about 15 years ago. Granny died a couple of weeks ago. And you can lose that sense of family because the first generation born in England tried to give us what they never had. And what that ended up doing was everything that the original generation that came over on the Windrush, they done the opposite to. So now, as second generation English, we have lost our way because our parents tried to give us everything their parents didn't. And now we've lost the essence and the rules, culture from back home. Everyone's selfish instead of selfless, like my granddad, sacrificing his whole life. Walking 30 miles to work, 30 miles back, never taking a holiday. Now everyone is in their little unit. Everyone's in their little family. Once big mama dies and granddad's gone, the family house is sold. If we don't argue about the money and if we're not fighting over the limited assets and resources left to us, everyone just branches off and goes on their way. My generation, second generation English, around my age, we have to start thinking about family again. We have to take the traditional ways of family and using the family as a superpower in this world, because the world we're living in, all we're going to have is family. That's where the riches are. That is where the wealth is. If we can use the traditional ways from back home and add money to the war chest to make sure our great grandchildren have a chance and start off further than us, that's a legacy worth fighting for. That's a legacy worth sacrificing for. That is when your all painting goes up on the wall and everyone looks at it and says, my granddad thought about me. My granddad worked hard. My granddad had a plan. He knew what he was doing. He could have balled out. He could have done a whole load of things. He done very well and he enjoyed himself. But most importantly, he put things aside. He had a plan for us and he thought about us. That's legacy. It's bigger than a gold Seiko. You, I, us should be giving other people gold Seikos. Ownership, business, financial literacy. I want a library named after me. I want to be spoken about in 100 years. The old ways are gone and dead. And for my granddad, who sacrificed for all of us, who from his seed created 40 other people, I'm going to be successful. Some of your parents may have been immigrants and came over here. Are you doing enough? Are you working hard enough to build on the sacrifices they made for us? Because my granddad working as hard as he did, my grandmother working as hard as she did, for me not to be successful is a crime. For me not to be successful is spitting in God's face. Take the legacy seriously. It's time for us to get serious. As men, we must evolve. This is HEvolvingMedia. We're working on the oil painting project on top of the fireplace in the grand house inside the library room. That was just something on my mind. Thinking about my granny's funeral. Thinking about my own mortality. Thinking about where I am in life. Hopefully this sparks and triggers one of you to go ahead and think about things like that. Or even this motivates and reminds some of you that are already on my type of time, already making moves to go ahead and do this. A nice little reminder that, yeah, I'm on the right path. It's not just me. It's Brother D talking to you, talking at the camera. Let's keep pushing. I'll see you in a piece, my brother. Good luck. Let's go.